And in this game, players are competing to build a thriving colony on an alien planet. Players will be cultivating the land and growing different crops and livestock, while also visiting the nearby forests, mines, and lakes in order to fish and gather various resources. Players will be reinvesting those resources into their various tools and equipment in order to make their actions even more efficient as the game goes on, and you'll be earning victory points in a few different ways by completing different badges and also completing your cargo manifest. The game plays over 12 rounds, with each round consisting of 3 different seasons, and at the start of each round you're going to be populating this board with various cards. The top row represents different objectives that you can complete for each of the seasons within that round, so you can only complete the objective of the current season, but you will be able to see further into the future. The cards below that are going to be swapped out every season, and these represent the actions that are going to be available to you. Players are going to be simultaneously choosing 2 of those cards in the display that they want to activate, normally granting them with some amount of resources of a particular type. And something to know about this game is that there is no storage of your resources, and if you don't spend them, you're going to lose them, so you want to spend them as soon as you get them. But the resources can be used for a bunch of different things. You could just simply sell them for an income, or you could use them to complete various objectives, or load them into your cargo in order to complete your manifest. Completing an entire row in your manifest is going to grant you with the bonus action corresponding with that row, but each space that you do fill in is also worth a victory point, and each column can actually act as a multiplier for certain types of resources that you put into that column. This is going to be outlined at the bottom of your manifest, and this is going to be different from sheet to sheet, which does add a little bit of variety each time you play the game, and does incentivize players to play a little bit differently. Resources can also be spent on various locations on your sheet in order to make different upgrades, which will make your actions even stronger and more efficient, which usually allows you to perform that action multiple times when you do choose to take that action. But another really interesting way that you can use your resources in this game is just by giving them away to one of your neighbors. And yes, this is a competitive game, but each player is going to have 2 neighbor cards, one on each side of them, and this is going to outline a particular resource that you're allowed to give to that neighbor. If you do that, it's going to be moving you up the social track, which is going to be granting you with whichever reward you're able to cross off. But I should be more specific with how the different action cards actually grant you those resources, because they don't just give you them directly. Instead, they're going to allow you to go out and find them. The first action is to tend, which actually allows you to choose from a whole subset of actions out on your board, but these can allow you to expand your farm by cultivating or building fences, and this allows you to make space for different crops and livestock that you can just go ahead and buy. And these are going to be represented by dice, and you'll be putting those in the spaces that you've expanded to in order to put that livestock or crop into your farm, which is going to be giving you ongoing resources every single round. The chop and mine actions work very similar to each other, but this is a really interesting aspect of the game because this is going to allow you to explore either the woods or the mines, and each one of those is actually going to be represented by different scratch-off cards. You'll be able to explore these areas from the path outlined on the card, and then you'll just be expanding out trying to find the different resources that might be hidden beneath those. Both the mine and the woods are also divided into 2 sections, with the top section requiring just 1 action point in order to scratch those spaces, but the bottom section requires 2 action points, but normally does grant you with better and more resources. The fishing action can be a little bit more risky because when you perform that action, you're going to be rolling 2 dice, and those are going to be giving you coordinates that you're going to be checking on your fishing chart to see if you caught a fish. The cool thing about this is that you can also upgrade your rod, which allows you to expand the area of coverage that your fishing rod can target around those coordinates, and better rods can also allow you to catch more fish. But I think my favorite aspect of the fishing is that you can actually find different fishing locations, which will grant you with new fishing charts, and one of them is just on your sheet, and in order to get to that location, you just have to build a bridge in order to get there. But the other 2 fishing locations are actually going to be located somewhere within your scratch-off cards, and you're going to have to find them first before you're going to be able to fish there. There's also different objectives that you can invest resources in order to try and complete, and once you have those, some of the action cards will actually have bonus actions associated with them, and if you have completed those particular badges and milestones, then you'll be able to perform those bonus actions as well. But the game continues like this over the 12 rounds, and the player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins the game. And I did also mean to mention that this one is both our Discord pick of the week, and it is also my pick of the week as well, because I am super interested in this one. I'll be following along with it and definitely adding this one to the collection. If you're interested in it, I will have it linked in the description down below.